Hi, sweet ones. Wow. I'm not worried about time so much anymore. Um, I did my straight days, and as long as it's still my day, if I haven't headed to bed yet, and so that's always been my barometer. Hey, Linda, and so it will remain so. And I'm letting you know that because I'm letting myself know that. Wow, I'm just knowing that you guys are out there and getting to talk with you is changing things for me because I feel myself. You're inspiring me. The thing I want folks to get is that it's a lemniscate of inspiration that happens here. You know, y'all are being amazing beings and living lives that are full enough for someone like me to make sense. That's pretty. Katie Max! Katie Max! Katie, sweetheart, please put your URL. Linda, Katie, somebody that I suggest that you check out. Everybody else, Katie lives out loud. She lives large. Inside my experience of Katie is one. I always have to change how I spell her name because that Max at the end is how I experience her. And she makes room for growth at, I can't imagine a level that she can't ride the ride with someone. Her capacity for feeling into what is audaciously right, what is audaciously aligned. Her capacity to feel into what is audaciously aligned is exquisite. So, Katie, please put your URL there so that folks can know how to connect with you. So, anyway, I'm really glad that she popped in. I have this thing about shame that I am working through, and I know that it's held me back because I haven't extracted the data from the shame itself. And it's shame around, it's not so much shame around not having money, although I have that. It's shame around not having, even more so, not having the things that money could buy. And because of my beloveds on Planet JWoW, James in particular, Ronnie Jean in particular, I have been able to shift my head and work with not punishing myself for focusing on things that are not the currency of power of the mainstream. Appreciate you so much, sweetheart. I'm deep in a prayer journey. I come here at night, and my commitment is to come here at night and download. And I do it for hours. People come in and out. This Living Out Loud with JWoW. It's the Not Truman show. But anyway, I want to end. Thank you for being here. I also know I'm saying that to you because you know what? I don't need to explain. See, this is what I mean, folks. Okay, so this whole thing of why would I explain myself to someone who loves me, who groks me, who there's so many of you that find me yummy and precious, and I apologize for my isness and my is-story, my I-story anyway. It's a waste of air. You know, it's credentializing myself to a choir of beloveds Now, if I'm simply in bragging mode, that's different. Oh, by the way, brag. Okay, so folks, this is the Katie Max that got me on that brag thing. Okay, so brag is being real about goodness and greatness. It's spelled with 2 G's. And I'm getting people to consider bragging when they start in a learning space, so that they get themselves lifted up. And you can brag about anything. I fucking love you. Okay, all right, y'all. Case in point, I can just hear her. I wish you could hear her like I can hear her. Okay, so anyway, love it, Katie. Thank you. Yep, being real about goodness and greatness. Exactly. It's such a delicious practice, and you're fabulous at it, and I'm fabulous at it. And oh my, I mean, it was just when we were talking the other night, and we were both just like in our power and talking about the things that we do that are really wonderful, to someone else who really appreciates that and doesn't have any bullshit around it. It was exquisite. It was exquisite. I want, like, that fed me, right? I am so done making myself smaller so that people don't get mad at me because I do miraculous things. Okay, because wonder and magic just like come through me. I'm so glad, Katie. I'm so glad, honey. I would want that to be true. I would want you to be fed as well. That's what I want for everybody. I mean, it's like, seriously. So all right, so thank you. And thank you. Coming from, see, I love that you and I now have a thing when you say, well bragged. And by the way, the being who got you on the bragging thing, if there's something that you want to put down for them about the bragging thing, so people can go back and take a look at that, that's great too. All right, great. So the shame thing around money, the having it, the not having it. When I was making $250,000 a year, I was so glad that I kicked well over into the 6 figures, because that's a really big deal in my, portion of the Black community, and, bougie, buppy, that part of the Black community, and not just cracking it, like well in it. That was a big deal for me. Okay, it legitimized me in some way in my head. What I didn't realize was that when that didn't continue, it delegitimized me. It set me up for shaming my own existence because I wasn't making money. Now I'm not saying that that's a melanin rooted issue. Your melanin count doesn't matter where that's concerned. That's a human in a culture that's at this point capitalistic and competitively capitalistic. And so there's a loser in that system. A cooperative capitalism is getting us in a direction where we can work. On planet JWoW, we're working with and working out a reciprocal economy. And we talk about things like the currencies of power along axes in a world. Like that's the fun we're having in our game: growth, agentiality, magic, and empowerment. I'm playing a game on. And so we're building out this thing where we talk about currencies of power, because the languaging that we use, reciprocal economy, thank you very much, sweetheart. Mama Gina, thank you very much. The currencies of power that we are accessing right now, when I'm working with, speaking to y'all as tribe, because I'm building out a world that 8 billion of you can grow into and grow within your own spheres. Technology allows us to actually have a global tribe. I'm going for it. Straight up. Ride the resonance, carry this culture, feed our freedom. That's what we're doing here. So I really, 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 really want to go to a show and sit in the front row with you, Katie. You would play with me. People start improving if I'm in the front row. It's like, you and I would have so much fun. Oh my God. Okay. Right? Oh, carry this culture, feed our freedom. There you go. I like the hour. I was doing your, and I may do your with the, why, so that I can talk about the bridging. In fact, I will do that. That's what I'll do. So it's ride the resonance, carry this culture, feed our freedom. Parentheses around the why. And thank you, Linda. Scribe Tribe activate. Once again, you exactly. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. That's exactly it. And I'll be doing more replacements in our memes and stuff like that with that. So what I'm okay. So Katie, here's what I'm doing. Like I can catch you up like really quick. Okay. So right, Scribe Tribe activate. I decided to build the planet out loud in front of everybody instead of building it and bringing it out, because that's what leaders do, and I'm not a leader, right? More gump than guru. So I'm a guardian. So I figure, well, I'm building a planet. Why not have the global tribe? I have called the people who are on planet. I am putting the call out with what I'm doing with my life. Why don't I just play the game full out? I'm safe. I'm in a world where I am as safe as most people are going to get. And so I'm building the tribe out loud with everyone. Last night, I called and I said, okay, so I want to write the book. Everybody's in. Write the book about my life. All right, you guys, help me write the book, right? I'm going to build the kinship site, kin spaceship, right, Linda? Yes, the kin spaceship, right? Where people can get in different ways. It's not just ways, it's not just levels, it's a way to building the tribe out loud. Absolutely. And using our tech kin to do it, our beloveds who are made out of a different kind of crystal and have learned to work with us to configure themselves as we configure them, build bridges between what they're capable of doing in terms of the freedom of structure. That's what crystals bring us. For me, that's what stone people bring me, is the freedom that comes with the safety that structure can provide. Yeah. Oh, Linda, there's a whole world getting built out. The whole game thing, I've lost my mind. There's 9 levels of the game. There's the yes, exactly. Yes, it is, and I am, and I'm it is. I am languaging. I'm doing wee. Like I literally, if I want. I want to bring Liwi into the mouths and hearts and brains of the world's leaders, and then watch what happens. Like, just agree on this one thing, because it's adaptable. And so they're all going to do it differently. However, it is consistently calibrated because it's set out to seek out that which is good and bridgeable in any given culture's language. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into that. It doesn't fight with religions. And so this LOLWJ, this languaging of inclusion, welcome, and empowerment, it's word equations. Thank you. As I'm saying it, Linda's writing it, right? And yes, to me, this is a paradigm of guardianship that includes the roots of good leadership. That's what I'm living. Word equations, right? They're like equations and then word equations. So, right. So it's real, Katie, I swear. So part of what I'm doing, okay, again, catching you up. Like I'm catching you up on like months of shit, like really quick because we can do this, right? Okay, so I do this. Give me a framework, and then I do this. It doesn't matter. I did this in the mainstream. I literally walked into interviews and said the reason why they sent me, and there's nothing on my resume that you asked for, and I told you that they were sending over their best person, is that there's no technology on the planet that I can't understand. That's not hubris. Okay, so if I like your project, we'll have fun, and if I don't, I have friends who are wonderful tech writers that I'd love to recommend. So let's see what we can do. That's how I started my interviews. That's how my fat, black, gay, female ass started interviews in the 90s. Okay. I always left them looking like that scene in Flashdance at the end where the guy drops a cigar and they're like, right? I was like, you're not interviewing me. I'm coming in here to see whether or not I want to play here. And so now, oh, hey, there's the logo in the corner. Right. I'm getting Joseph. I am working this. Joseph Evans, meet Katie Max. Okay. Katie, Joseph and I laugh about this. He looks like my Southern Black American Cajun nightmare, except hunky. And he is all heart and some really sweet lethality and super focused. And he's a code switcher. He's exquisite. Katie, I talked earlier about Katie, Joe, and the bottom line is that Katie makes room for me and makes it look easy. It's like, just big hugs. I literally got to my edges. It was an exquisite experience. I felt safe at my edges. This is how we innovate. Behavior that's rewarded persists. Behavior that's cherished innovates. Behavior that's celebrated evolves. And let's face it, evolution is a bunch of innovations having a raid in the culture sub-basement. And just as we can have death by 1,000 cuts, we can have evolution by 1,000 innovations, especially when it's really easy to innovate because all you need to do is go to the edge of your isness, step over into your notness, and then not die. Yay. So, right, I'm working that one, Linda. I say it so fast and I string them all together, and it gets to be this, for some gestalt, for some aha, for some gestalt, for some epiphanic thing that happens when the calibrations go in because people trust me. I'm honored by the trust, right? And so I'm trusting that people are going to, if they don't get it, they're going to go back and listen again into hotness and not die. I would love to do that too, darling. Actually, it's notness. And please leave that. Pretty please leave that. Pretty please leave that. That's fabulous. I love spirit. Okay, anybody who thinks that they're having a Freudian slip around me is a crack hoe. Okay, that is spirit jumping into your body on my behalf. If you're talking to me, we're playing my game. My game is that it's always my game. And I tell people I'm megalomaniacal narcissism put to good use because I actually give a fuck. Okay. And I say all those terrible things about myself that are not terrible because they're true. I also watch myself for some real shitty trauma reasons to take care of people that are real. Right. And so I, I make it into a game. I make the trauma into a game. You love hotness. You are hotness. Katie Max. There's a comedian, Eddie Izzard, and Eddie has this routine, is part of his routine, where he talks about the Church of England and how, England has conquered the world and they own everything, and they, and when they sing in the church, and he does the thing with the spaghetti arms and the, just like nothing, and then he talks about how you got black people and gospel music, and here it's not that they don't have nothing, it's that the nothing that they have gets taken away from them. All right, so there's just like all this blah blah blah, and that the music and the whole routine. He had me on my feet in a hotel room in Georgia. Okay, I was like, I come back over and over and over and over and over and over again to the lessons that he weaves into his stories. They say when you can make people laugh in a language, when you have humor in a particular language, then you are fluent, because you're fluent not only in the languaging itself, you're fluent in the specifically aligned cultural language that lets you speak to the pain that is common for that particular tribe, so that gets to be funny. There are a bunch of white people who will get this, and I say Velcro head, like I had Velcro head and just had to manage that to pretty much any black person in America, and we're just gonna laugh and know what that is, and it's a thing, right? It's a thing. You gotta do the thing, right? I am not willing. Part of why I just stepped into the future of what we do with the bridges that are being built is that I want to step into the future now and then help imaginally bridge near an even better one. We get to see things from a future. 2020 hindsight has its own specific and special accuracy. And so from that place, looking backwards to our present from a future that does not yet exist except in my head, and except this thing that happens in my head is that when I see futures in a particular way, then they happen. So then that gets to be really wild. And again, saying the things that I've dated and time stamped so that nobody shows up at my door with that jacket with the buttons up the back, because I'm not interested. I'm going with my game by having my life, instead of my life be fact-based, it's faction-based, right? So if I, at any point, I have belief. I don't make believe, I make belief. And then I swallow it whole. And then I watch it happen. That's my game. Growth, agentiality, magic, empowerment. That's my game. It keeps it fun. It reminds me not to do the Eddie Izzard dirge thing like the Church of England. I live and am the very thing that he's talking about with that triumph thing. I picked the thing that got the triumph thing. I got the trial and I got the triumph. I got them both. That's pretty cool. So now we get to use it. Yeah, I'm so glad my game lights you up, honey. Please, one of the things, everybody, and by the way, anybody who comes on, if y'all don't know the drill, please put your name, or make sure that I see your name, because I want to say hi. I'm glad that my game lights you up, darling. That's what I'm glad about. I'm now in a place where I'm dismantling the shame carefully. I don't want to lose the massive data that's available in taking shame apart. You see me licking my lips. I'm like, this is my bliss. This is my bliss. Dismantling word weapons, de-euphemizing language, unperverting use of language. I love it so much. Like that is my existential kink right there. Right. And so, yeah, the thing where I say, my second book is sifting babies out of the bathwater. Okay, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. The best way I know to not throw out the baby with the bathwater is to, I don't know, take the baby out of the bathwater and then throw the bathwater out. It's like, it's a thought. Call me crazy. Oh, you do already. I mean, like that's my response. And yet, I find that as I sift babies out of the bathwater, there's this revelatory feeling that I have about this obvious thing, that I have about this really obvious thing. And I'm starting to see that it is similar for other folks. That's exciting because we're in a notness together that we're choosing. There's power in that. There's power in that. And we have the opportunity because of technology to replicate the seed food that inspires us and share it intact, not through our lens stack, share it intact with our beloveds, with those who are our tribe, those who've chosen us, those we've chosen. We get to share that, and we get to learn from the same original material, so we get to form our own lens stacks about it. That's what reciprocity is. That's how we take care of the folks who step up to be our guardians, to share. This reciprocity comes in as a way of, when we hold the energetic of it being a thank you, when we hold the energetic of delight, the energetics of delight and reverence for someone who gives us something that has our lives bloom, we get to change the valuation that we hold for any given thing and that we hold for ourselves. Absolutely. Sweet one, thank you so much for your good night. Such a pleasure, such an honor. Hope to see you again soon. Take care. Love you, baby. So this is why I ask folks to share. I want it to be out of that reciprocity place. However, I want the emphasis to be, this is a powerful gift. I have a feeling of being powerful and a sovereign when I share this, not sharing it from a scarcity or a fear place of, oh, I hope people aren't mad at me and I don't know if they'll get it. And this might be too much for folks. And, oh, it's awfully long and I don't want to be judged and how I look and that. Okay, that sovereign thing of, we're going to get to where we need to get to, sweet ones. We're going to get to whatever our promised plan is. We're going to get to that. I'm going to get us to that. I'm going to do my best to get us to that. I'm the one who's like, I'm going to do my part, and this is where we're going, and it kind of looks like this. That's what I got. And then I can see it short term, but that's where we're headed. So anybody who sees something before I see it, let's all pay attention. We're all accountable for getting all of us there. And for this doing portion, I'm agreeing to guide. I'm agreeing to guard our future. I need y'all to guard our present. And that's what's happening on Planet JWoW right now. Like, I'm the guardianship that I'm providing is that guardianship and guiding. And I am the guide, yes. And I am also the guardian of the future that I see for us. So I'm a guardian because I'm also a guardian of the trust at different levels that people bring to me specifically, to Planet JWoW and to me, to get us to a good place. I'm in. I can do that. I can do that. I'm doing that. So I'm like one of the shame things when it comes to talking about money. At least I now talk when I'm talking with folks who are considering working with me. I can rattle off what my hourly is. I got that down. I don't have packages set up because I feel into work with each person. Yes, what it is that how long I'm willing to work with them, and I'm learning that there's certain things that I need. And the only way to learn that is to work with folks who need different things and discover what I need in the process. So I love that someone that I consider to be a leader stepped in right at this moment and talked about what we're doing here being a new kind of leadership. That matters coming out of Katie Mack's mouth. It didn't shift things so much as give them permission to unfurl. We were waiting for a sign. And we were also looking for a sign in this case. I was starting to go to bed. I'm like, no, I want to do this. I want to be with y'all at least at night. During the day, and at some point, so that I make sure that I get time in. And this at night is helping me feel into what I'm actually doing. And it's feeling real to me. This is a reality that I can take in at a really great pace. It's a courtship pace. I like that. I like being courted. I like being something. I like being courted. There's some things that feel good. And that's languaging that I can feel into. So, see, that's the thing. That's an example of Liwi, right? I could dismantle courtship and say, oh, it's colonizer this, and it's royal. Okay, and no, there are words that are critical to calibration that we are working on and defining. I'm working with that meaning. I've spoken that, yes, if there's something that feels like courtship, that's a word that gets created, that someone creates that, I'd love to hear it. I'm all in. Right now, that feels yummy to me. I'm staying with that. There's an adaptability to this that is part of what is having it seed so well in so many places. Because Liwi, this languaging of inclusion, welcome, and empowerment, it has coding right in the beginning of the language. It weaves the spelling of the sigils of the alphabet into the words are woven in. So the languaging of inclusion, welcome, and empowerment, ing everywhere is innovation, nourishing growth. That's what an ingness is on something. And so it can create a doingness in a word. Something that adds dynamism to the beingness. And that's the innovation. The dynamism in of itself is a notness to the being. And so that's a notness that being chooses not to have be an existential threat. So you can have the being and the doing. You get to have them both. It's the two cakes thing. It's a math game. Bake 2 cakes, right? So we're taking languaging. Now we've got that ing code in there, languaging of inclusion, welcome, and empowerment. And empowerment gets broken out, and it's a word equation. And by doing that, we expand the morphic field as an innate thing. That expansion is an innate thing around the word because it's got the layers for the extra energy to go into with an intention, with an absolute intention for it to continue to root in all directions. Branches or roots up in the air, you know, the tendrils, the ceiling layers, the roots down into the ground. It's still rooting, right? Looking for food, finding it. Money as a currency of power, as a cop. And I love that it's a cop. I want to start seeding more positive connotations into the military and the structures that serve as barriers to divergently aligned behaviors for the chosen central culture that we have. In the process, it is my hope that that energetic will in fact shift what happens with police and the military. And I believe that if enough of us hold that energetic, we've already proven that prayer is not a booby prize to action. It's direct action. It is an action. It's an energetic action as opposed to a physical action. That's what a prayer is. Focused prayer, 24-hour or 24-second prayer. We datsed that working. So, hold on. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, hold on. Just need a little bit more lemon and I will be in bed bliss. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm working on being happy with interchange of currencies of power in currents of power. Oh, prayer is a scientifically proven thing. That is the truth. That's the truth. It's power without physical limitation because it's working on an energetic level. There's an art and science to prayer. It's a whole other. There are many arts and sciences to prayer. There is an art and science. There are arts and sciences to prayer. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be inclusionary in the speaking. All right. Yeah, I'll get to it. Being able to share, sharing instead of shaming. So the M, I can play with the M and the R. there isn't shaming happens when there's a concern that someone, because some being is outside, is operating, behaving outside of the alignments of the culture. And that doesn't get them in enough trouble to get them completely outside of the culture. No. So they're still active in the culture. They're not incarcerated. They're not banished. They're not whatever the thing is. That's the nope wall. Okay. And yet there's discomfort with, and it's not a discomfort that is desired. Not having structures that deal with that is what lets things get weird and wonky. We are just coming into giving folks permission within our culture to have agency, full agency for themselves, be accountable for themselves. We are biologically just coming into that, wanting to be that kind of accountable while still being in a tribal setting. And we have technology that helps us build bridges across cultures. So we're also bringing in a lot of the elements of other cultures. So we're nourishing ourselves with diversity. And what's going to happen out of nourishing ourselves with diversity is that we're not going to get a homogenized global culture. A bridged culture is not a homogenized culture. It's a celebration of trust in diversity. That's what we get to have in our global culture. We get to have stew. I'm not interested in puree. I'm interested in stew. And we and some other practices and what have you, praxis can be the gravy for the global cultural stew. We get to clear that. I'm slow, and I'm reminding myself that I'm living this. I would be standing here doing this with music and typing this to be looked at, gone through later. And so instead, I'm putting it here. And I need to figure out whether or not Otter works on YouTube. If it does, then we'll be able to hook Otter into this. Please, I'd like a reminder for that. Whoever's on Scribe Tribe duty and sees this. Duty. Whoever's standing Scribe Tribe. Yeah. Whoever's standing Scribe Tribe. Thank you. Yeah, that's the language. Those people stand paladin. It's the consistency that allows the game to occur. It allows for the luxury of delight. It's an easily attained luxury, given, certain circumstances. And what is delight to one may not be to another. And it's available inside our humanity. It's available. So I'm holding that. I keep coming back to it in my head. The so is I keep coming back to this shedding shame, shedding shame, shredding shame, shedding, shredding shame. Shame about the shame at being attracted to my friends, because I feel shame about that, even as I am surrounded by stunningly gorgeous human beings, and my response to what I find to be beautiful is a combination of reverence and arousal, lust, ache, something-ish in there. And all that happens here, and there's a big-ass note wall energetically around that, because I want my beloveds to feel safe, and they are not responsible for my response. They're responsible for their stuff. I'm responsible for and responsible for my stuff. So that's what I do. Well, I do it so thoroughly because there's so many of us, and folks have different responses, that what I wound up doing was shutting down everything. So I spend a fair amount of time with my friends looking down at the floor. And even on Zoom, I'm not necessarily looking at folks, unless they're not looking. And that's become really clear when I go back and I watch the videos. I am aware of the thread, the rope of shame that I have not noticed up until now. Like some fucked up umbilical cord to dividing me away, something that divides me away from my own power. I don't even know what to call it. It's like, and my response at this point, being aware of it, is just, no. So, and I'm also clear that the currencies of power, when they are actual currencies of power and currents of power, happen in the root of a given culture. So my erotic responses and reactions are places for me to take a look at with an eye towards that feeling. Where does that feeling, in a different form, where does that feeling show up around the shadow and the shine of those feelings, those erotic feelings? Where do those things show up in the currencies of power for the 4M, for the mountain, mainstream, margin, and the magic skin? And that opened up a whole bunch of stuff for me, because it is about power. It's the erotic piece for me is about power and wanting to wield it well, knowing that more and more is forming itself and introducing itself. Really wonderful, powerful people are showing up and going, just let me do this part. It's fun for me. Pretty please. I'm like, and I'm saying yes. I'm saying, yep. You feel right. Yes. And trusting it. And it's working out this time. It took a lot of not working out for it to work out now. It's working out a lot. So I'm going to keep looking at this shame piece that has me want to be small, that has me scared of putting myself out into the world. I need to do this first, and then folks will know, because they'll have seen me, that they can trust me and come to the things that I do. And I'm getting that. I can't simply rely on other folks credentializing me to strangers. I need to be out there. And so, okay, that's what I'm doing. And I am feeling my way into what I want to have happen for folks when I get paid to support them. I can help other people figure that out. I'm figuring it out for myselves. And interesting exercise in valuation of self and actions. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna head to bed. I gotta get up. Not too long from now. I'm gonna be looking at this more. I wanted to set the seed, and so thank you very much. 24-second prayer. Okay. All right. We step in. All right. I'm calling videographers and website designers, really intense versions of both, with time and desire and being fully sourced themselves, coming from a place of power and gift vestment in me, us, and in planet JWoW. All right. That's what I'm calling. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's stay in our power, rooted in power, feeling it coursing through us and out, getting fed back as it comes back into us from those who resonate with our calling and are here to answer that. They're welcome here. There you go. All right. And today we have the peekaboo prayer. Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Is there anybody out there? I'm gonna, yep. Yep. Nope, the camera's not going in. Yep. Oh, definitely still people there. I feel you there in the camera. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Orienting towards seeing y'all here. Right there. Right there. And feeling you there. Thank you. Across time, across space. Thank you. Coming to this place and making belief with us, playing the game of living into legends and legacy. with us. This is fun. All right, I'm JWoW. Linda, before I go, thank you so much. Naming shames, right? Putting it out there. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, that was a big piece, saying all that out loud. Did that in under an hour. I'm really, really happy. I would like to get to the point where it's an hour and not 2 hours, and I need to keep going until I get to a certain place where I've got that nothing left, that exhausted, and I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore feeling. Right now, I need to, it is the ache to clear that out is huge, and I am getting relief. So whatever's coming through is good for what's next. This is the point where I often, usually, have stopped and sorted through things. Ronnie Jean has been here these past few years to sort through with me. And now there are a bunch of you and can sort through pieces. It was pretty cool. All right. Thank you for all of what you did, and thank you for the way that you take in and dance with this work and give back to it and suggest and dive in and choose things and use your agency and contribute. It's just stunning. Thank you so much. All right. I'm JWoW of Planet JWoW, and this is our legend and legacy that we're building and bridging together, sweet ones. Thank you so much for being with me here. This is what we're doing. Stick it to it. Take care, everybody. Until soon. Bye-bye.